Okay. We back with another light novel reading video. And in today's video, I got something special for y'all today. I have another new series. Now, I know we got a lot of series on the channel, but listen, I post a video every day, guys. So I must have a lot of series on my channel. Okay, so just know that I'm gonna try and do every series at least once a week, okay? And that goes for light novel readings and webtoon reactions. If I don't get to a particular webtoon reaction, then that means I'll go over it the next week. But first things first, if you're new to my channel or for some odd reason you're just not subscribed, and I don't know why you wouldn't be subscribed to me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you don't miss a upload from you, boy. And make sure you guys hit that like button. And make sure you guys comment down below, because y'all know your boy love talking to y'all in the comment section, okay? Now I have another new series. Now, word around the block, this series is one of the top 3 in Korea. Now, this name of this series is The S Classes That I Raised. Now, I'm going to give you guys a quick little summary of what it is, so you got a chance to understand what it is before you start to listen. Use up your time. So it says, an F-class hunter, and on top of that, a F-class older brother who can't even begin to catch up to the heels of his amazing S-class little brother. After living a life that fell to pieces and even destroying my little brother's life, I got another chance by regressing 5 years back. I picked up the resolution. This time, instead of making those mistakes, I will quietly live my life leisurely, is what I thought. But the S ranks are all kind of weird, and for some reason, I can't seem to be able to get away at all. Now, that is a quick little summary of it. I know that wasn't much, but I haven't read this either. Let's go ahead and just get into it. Let's see what it's about. Let's see if it's good. Hopefully it's the next coming of Solo Leveling. We looking for that. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. Hyung, are you okay? That guy said. His side was ripped open and his guts were spilling out, and he was asking if I was okay. He was on the verge of death, yet his face was only a little pale. His calm look annoyed me. I sat on the floor and looked up at my brother without saying anything. He was always interfering with my work. He was better than the dirty me, so people had always told me to stay put and behave, to not hold on to his thigh. They weren't wrong to say that, because eventually I had broken his big and reliable thigh. However, why are you here? A blunt voice came out of my mouth on this old subject. Why did you come to such a shit place for someone you don't even know? We were anything but close. If we ever ran into each other, that would only be a cold breeze. When my leg bones had been shattered, he did not come to the hospital to see me even once. When I went to him to request for help to fix my broken leg, he coldly turned me down and had me dragged out. That day, after being kicked out, I was forced to take the money he gave me. I have never talked to him ever since. He laughed bitterly at my question. Why are you here? Fuck. Even though I thought he was the type of person who would bite the hand that feeds, a curse still emerged from my mouth. He had a lot of expectations on his shoulders, but he still gave his life to save a useless family member. Crazy son of a bitch. Since when were we that friendly? If you're dead and on the news, damn it, I'll just swear a few times and then forget about it. But what did you do? I was angry. I was angry and irritated by my patheticness, not him. Yes, I've always been an ugly older brother. Even in this situation, I'm still a person with a garbage brain filled with complaints and inferiority complex. So just let me die in a corner of a dungeon. Why did you come? Listen to me, Hyung, that guy said, avoiding my question. Lachetus falls asleep within 5-hour cycles. If you hide for an hour, it will eventually go to sleep. Then you just have to get out through the entrance. I've taken care of all the lesser monsters, so as long as you do not touch Lochtis, you will be safe. He then held out a small blue stone to me. It was a gate stone that provided a way out from the closed dungeon. It can only be used near the entrance and is a very valuable item that could only be used one time by one person. I did not take the gate stone and pretended to be uncaring. Good for you. Now use it. He laughed at my words. I've got mine. I won't use this. Now that you're one of the best hunters in Korea, you're carrying several of these precious gate stones. I reluctantly accepted the gate stone. It was only then that he took his eyes off me and looked at his wounds. Without the strength of his skills, he would have long collapsed and died. You have gate stones. Do you have anything like elixirs? No, I don't. I have a small potion, but I don't think that's going to work. Lochitis has a powerful curse on its claws. He laughed again. I didn't know how to laugh with him, but that kind of calmness soon reached its limits. His knees bent and his body fell forward. I reflexively caught the upper half of his body. The smell of blood that I hadn't felt for so long stung my nose. It was awful. I thought I got used to the smell of blood as I walked around the dungeon, but it brought me to my knees. I felt sick. I was tempted to throw away the body in my arms and flee. Hey, I could barely hear that sound of breathing. There was no answer. I couldn't laugh. Are you dead? My voice was shaking. It's none of my business whether this asshole dies or not. Hyun, are you dead? Damn, this stupid son of a... I'd be damned if I survived by myself. I'm sure that there were a lot of guys who want to burn the scumbag who killed his younger brother. You're going to screw with me to the end. I muttered in vain. Up to this day, he's been interrupting me in everything I do. It is now time to hide. Dirty to the end. Really? Effective caregiver title has been activated. Caregiver's additional skill, final reward. The skills and abilities of Awakened Han Yun have been transferred with twice the efficiency. Duration, 1 minute. A notice popped up, confirming his death. As one of the additional skills of my title, when a target who has been given the growth buff died, the target's skill and ability can be transferred for 1 hour. It also doubled in power. As soon as power filled my body, some of his memories were also passed on. My brother is an F-level awakener. This son of a B even to the end. So, he cannot be involved with me. Yun was talking to someone. He seemed a little sad. It's already damaged, but in the future we need to be even more distant, because awakeners who qualified to become hunters are not protected by the law. If my brother becomes my weakness, they will no doubt go after him. Who the hell are they? Damn it, dispose of all those bastards. It was when my leg had been broken. He was angry, and then he was sad again. No, tell him healing is not possible. It would be better for him. I kick him out, but he's still my brother. I cannot help but help him. Young, I'm sorry. Sorry? Please don't go into the dungeon. Young, my brother's memories tightened my throat. The entire area was silent, but the sound of Hyung still hurts my ears. The body was cold and stiff. I was going crazy. As expected, this fellow had covered for me until the very end. What are you protecting me for? The older brother is me. I had lost my parents at an early age, dropped out of school, and took care of my younger brother raising him. Damn him. Did he think I was going to regret this? It's your fault that you didn't say a word. I carefully laid my younger brother's body onto the floor. His face looked relaxed. If I leave alone, it would be the same as when I came in. I'm not going to cry. Until the end, that selfish guy just did whatever he wanted. Why would I cry for him? It was a waste of tears. I got up. When I looked at the status window, I saw the increased number of skills. They were all top quality, even the double buffs. Laughter broke out. Just 1 hour? For just an hour, I had become the strongest person in the world at the cost of my younger brother's life. Damn it. What can you do with only 1 hour? It would be better for Han Yun to be alive longer for 40 or 50 more years. Even if Yun became a grandfather, he would still be a lot stronger than me. How could it be compared to this 1 hour presentation? Stupid bastard. This stupid bastard. My brother's stupidity brought tears to my eyes. The title of genius was a waste on him. He was the world's biggest fool. Gigant shield. As soon as I used the skill, a faint golden light wrapped around my body. Originally, it was a shield that couldn't stop Lochdis's claws, but now that it received the double buffs, I would survive even if I was bitten by the creature itself. This is all yours, so I'm going to avenge you. I walked slowly out of the gap in the wall where I was hiding. I could see a giant monster lurking at the far end of the wide corridor. Lochdis, Grade 1 Poly P, the Dragon King of Poison and Curse. It had only appeared twice so far, and both times were deemed as a non-combatant because its dungeon door was closed. The red dragon with 3 heads was looking at me. Among the 3 heads, the middle one's eyes had been burnt out. The Lochdis was very resilient, but it seemed that even it could not recover in such a short period of time from the injuries caused by Yun's blood. Yeah, my younger brother's great. Now I have double the abilities of the great younger brother. You're dead! That's the end of chapter 1. We're going to go ahead and get straight into chapter 2. I thought that was a really good introductory chapter right there. Pretty much, you see our boy is the main character. He weak, bro. He weak. His younger brother is way stronger than him. Younger brother is a S class, you feel me? But it's just crazy because his whole life he thought that his brother, it seemed like he thought that his brother really wasn't rocking with him. But in all, he was really trying to protect him so they wouldn't go after him. We don't know who they is, but we got to keep reading to find out. So let's go ahead and get into this second chapter. I pulled out a dagger and made a long cut on my forearm. Blood leaked out of the cut and formed a dark red spear. Dazzling black flames flowed from the tip of the spear and wound around the shaft. Lochdis, who had previously looked down on me and ignored me, raised all 3 of his heads at the same time. Its hackles rose. Wary at the sight of the spear that had taken its eyes, its mouth open, showing the rows of serrated teeth that lay within. If it were the original me, I would have long collapsed under its pressure before I could even meet its eyes. But now I couldn't even feel the slightest bit of tension. I was sure it was weaker than me. Come on, you lizard. It cried as if to answer. The entire area was shaken by the roar that was full of life. The 3 heads of the red giant completely rose off the ground. There were no wings. Instead, it had a sleek body that wore awful curses all around it, like a leopard's spotted coat. Its long tail were full of speckled and patterned swirls, along with the set of thorns. Thud. Its 4 feet hit the ground. The sickle-like claws, which resembled the scythes of the god of death, left long scars on the floor. It had an unimaginable fast movement for such a giant body. In one move, the creature crossed the space between us in a single leap. If it had been the me from before, I wouldn't have been able to catch it, but now I could. Why aren't you crawling? I felt like it was a puppy that was running around. My brother was ranked 3 in the terms of speed among the world's strongest adults and teenagers. If my younger brother had been alone, the attacks of this little 3-headed lizard wouldn't be allowed to even graze him. At this moment, I was faster than him. Tap. I jumped into the air with a twisted mockery of a smile. Smash! The creature's claws broke through the ground I had been standing on as I lazily looked down at the scene. I used a flood of skills. Blue willow leaves. Leaves that could only be seen by a caster scattered over the area. I stepped on the leaves with my toes and jumped up into the air once again. The highly poisonous Lochdis jumped up again and again, but I nimbly dodged its claws. Its curses that shot up to me like a stinger's was blocked by the shield. Grrr! The baby lizard on the ground roared. If you don't like this, come up here with your wings. My brother had no flying skills, but with the blue willow leaf skills, he could dance in the air as if it were on the ground. There wasn't any goddamn thing that he couldn't do. No, he couldn't cut ties with the useless older brother. Muttering, I pulled the spear in my head to the side. I wound the black flames back and pulled as if I were pulling a bow. Shoot! The spear that I fired penetrated the left head of the Lachesis. The black flame soared and pierced head melted away in an instant. The lizard went mad with pain, running wild, swinging its claws and biting with its teeth. However, it was too slow. Thud, thud. Like an eel that had been dragged ashore onto dry land, it jumped up and down on its bottom. It was a funny scene. That bastard's funny, but I'm funny too. I used my blood to create a new spear. Bam! The right head was also smashed. With the loss of the heads that had working eyes, the Lachesis was discern the world around it. The creature with scales all over its body stopped moving around and crouched down. It was as if it was scared. This is too easy. It was so easy that I was almost in tears. I met its end too quickly. If I burned the last head, even the most powerful dragon species wouldn't be able to withstand it. But I aimed for the legs instead of the head. It was as helpless as a fish drying up on hot sand, but I cut its limbs off one by one, slowly, gently. The monster shrieked, groaned, and then took its final, dying gasps. The floor was like a bloody version of a muddy swamp, but the Lachesis was still alive. I clicked my tongue and sat on its body. Time was almost up. Once the timer for the skill was over, I would immediately die from the venom of Lachesis' carcass. What a useless person I was. What else could I do even if I survived? If people knew that Yun was dead because of me, his older brother, I would probably be sentenced to a public execution. If I was tied to the square, people would come from all around, all over the world to stone me. I would go down in history, maybe even in textbooks. I have been cursed a lot so far, but now I'm sure I'm going to be cursed for generations to come. Why did you die instead of me, my stupid younger brother? It was really useless. Ha, fuck. I should have died back then when I had broken my leg. Then I wouldn't be as horrible as I am now, and Yun wouldn't have died for me. He really saved such a useless and unnecessary guy. I thumped on the scales of the Lachesis, which was breathing its last breaths, with the palm of my hand. I'm not going to live much longer, so don't be unfair. Why did you come out of a D-class dungeon anyways? Did the managers miscalculate the class? Either way, it didn't matter to me anymore. There was no way I had the energy to leave before the effects of my skill ended. Why hadn't I simply supported Yun from behind and lived well? Getting protected by my good-natured younger brother and just live off him. Why did I get this inferiority complex? Just then, the reward window for the death of the Lachesis popped up. Impossible achievement. You have hunted a dragon alone. Yun had shot the dragon too. Why was it considered alone? Maybe it was because of the time difference between his attacks and mine. Legendary title, Dragon Slayer, has been granted. Dragon Slayer? It sounded like a title with some great stats, but I hadn't checked it. How did I know? A pumpkin is still a pumpkin even if you draw the lines on it. Then my level rose and series of items appeared one after another. Gatestone times 10. Grade 1 grant amount times 5. Red Dragon's Greatsword. Wishstone. Huh? Wishstone? While glancing through the items in the window, the first thing I noticed was the Wishstone. It was my first time seeing such an item. Just by seeing your name, it seemed like you'll be able to grant me a wish. No way. Something like that could only be a scam. Though, I thought it was ridiculous. I still sat up. When I opened the inventory, I saw a red bead that was just a little smaller than my fist. Swallowing dryly, I took the beads out and checked the information on it. Wishstone, Myth class, grants one wish for the user. It's real. Then my younger brother, resurrection of the deceased is not allowed. What? I blatantly noticed the last condition of the item. Why wasn't I able to save a dead person? A myth class should be a myth class. If you are a god, you should be able to do whatever you want. Damn it. Then what's the point? Everything except saving people. I grasped the wish stone tightly in my hand. Things that I could wish for instantly flashed through my head. If I could grant any wish, I might be able to become stronger than Yun. Maybe I could keep my current state. Then I could get rid of my bad reputation. People would soon forget the heroes of the past and praise the new ones. I could finally take the position that I had been so envious of. In a much more glorious position, I could climb higher than anyone. I was caught in a delusion and rolled my eyes and sighed for a long time. Yun, you're really screwing with me until the end. I might regret it. No, I'm sure that I would regret it, so I won't regret anything. I'm already coated with layers of regret. If I added one more, would it make a difference? Hey, Wishstone, is it possible to turn back time? As if in answer, the red bead began to shine. The dead could not be raised, but I could still do this. It seemed like it was better to turn the clock back. How funny. Than to before I came in here. No, just bring me back 5 years ago with my current memory. I'll live quietly and live well this time around. If I hadn't gone out, I wouldn't have been in trouble and my legs would be fine. Yun wouldn't be upset because of me. Everything would be fine. I would just live off my brother's surplus money. Do you want me to turn back time? Yeah. The light shining from the beads grew stronger. All my eyes saw was bright red burn, and suddenly everything became white, and the sight of a strange room settled in front of my restored vision. That was the end of chapter 2, and that is the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed this video and you made it this far, go ahead and give me a yerp in the comment section below if you guys enjoyed this. I kind of liked it. It was cool. I'm interested. I'm curious to see what happens in the next coming chapters and how the story actually developed. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.